Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you to a new League of Legends video. This one is going to be somewhat of a special video because in this one I'm going to be going over a replay of a game that I had on my Smurf, Redmercy, in a game that was the final promotion game. I was 2 for 2 for Diamond. On top of that, this isn't just any Zed game. This is a very special one because I simply show how to hard carry with Zed even in the high plat to low diamond elo. Now the reason I say I hard carry is because one, you see on your screen right now, our jungler Fiora DC'd just as the jungling phase started and she completely disconnected for about 10 minutes. On top of that, you will see about halfway through the game that our laners, our top and our bottom lane, did not do so well, especially our bottom lane, and they were extremely behind. On top of that, you will notice that the kills on our team are very much behind the enemy team and also the golds. People always ask me how do I carry my ranked games or just my League of Legends games in general. And a lot of the times they ask me how do I do it with Zed. Well, hopefully my commentary on this video and the video itself with the gameplay that you will be seeing will help you better understand. By the way, that right there was actually a misplay on the Master Yi, but I still got first blood on him, so worth. So to answer the question, the way you want to carry, especially with someone like Zed, is first of all, split push. But before you get into the mentality of being able to carry games, you must first accept that some games are just simply not carryable. You have to really understand that. There will be some games where no matter how hard you try, you just cannot carry it, even if you play your very best and give it 110%. But at the same time, you can always give it your very best and you never know. Sometimes it may just turn around and you might just be able to fully carry that game. And this is just one of those games. You can see our Fiora actually finally reconnected. She's about level 2 I believe, and she's finally trying to get herself back in the game. But taking a look at our bottom lane, our Graves is 1 for 5, our Blitzcrank is 0-2-0, so our bottom lane is 1-7-0, not very good. While the enemy Lucian is 6-1, way above in CS, and on top of that we have no jungle compared to a Yasuo jungle who's 1-0 with 75 CS. So this game is obviously not looking very hot, and this is the last game for my promos that I really want to win because I don't want to go through all the promos again. So what do? I focus on the game 100%. I don't talk to my team in negative terms. I don't tell them, why are you feeding, why do you guys suck, why are you doing so bad, why are you so bad at this game. I don't say any of that bull. I just simply focus on my own gameplay. I don't focus on anything else except just how much I can pressure the enemy team this game, how much of an impact I can have. And I even watched a Spazzy video a few weeks ago or about a month ago where he talked about very important things like this as well. Where I try to make sure that every single trade and everything I do in this game is favorable for myself and my team. I make sure that I do not die for free, and if I do die, I take several with me. And with that mentality, I was able to carry this game. But with all things, it does take a lot more than just knowing how to carry. It's even more important to actually be able to carry. So with this game I did was I tried to roam as much as possible. I tried to rush my items as fast as I possibly can. And I do try to teamfight with my team whenever I can and help them out, but eventually you will see me do the very famous Zed split pushing. And this is usually what I tell most people that ask me how do I carry games with Zed. You want to split push as much as possible, but first you want to get to the stage where you are so strong that you split pushing forces the enemy team to send a minimum of 2 people, preferably 3 or 4, to try and stop you. And that's what's happening with these games. The enemy team is trying to take advantage of our weak people on my team. And with that being said, I just roam down and I try to clean up the fights. I try to turn them around for my team. And once I finally got to something that I feel comfortable with, which is usually getting my Bork and Yomus as fast as possible, I try to split push. Because at this stage, especially with how ahead I am, I know I can 1 versus 1 anyone on their team. And whenever the enemy ADC or marksman gets fed, I usually don't care as much because I usually play assassins in the mid lane in solo queue, and assassins are they're built to destroy the enemy squishies, especially the ADCs. So you saw right there, I ended up killing the Yasuo. Thanks to the Blitz, of course, he did help just a little bit. And I resumed trying to put more pressure somewhere else. At this point, I see my team is fighting the enemy team in the top lane, and I see that they're all extremely low, so I try to roam and pick off as many of the low HP people that I can. But here, I actually take way too long to kill the Akali. She outplays me just a little bit, enough to have me waste so much time killing her that I ended up dying anyways. And plays like these, especially when you're the only one that's fed on your team and the whole team is reliant on you in order to win, can really put you on tilt. But you have to focus and you have have to realize that that's not anywhere near enough for the enemy team to become stronger than you are and for them to still be able to 1 versus 1. Again, I said this before and I'll say it again. When you play Zed, you always want to be at the stage where you can 1v1 anyone on the enemy team. If that is not the case and there's someone on the enemy team that is able to 1 versus 1 you without many problems, then you want to try to team fight with your team and get advantages going, because split pushing is no longer an option, but you always want to be stronger than everyone else on the team in a 1v1 scenario, because split pushing with Zed is quite honestly the easiest way to win. One tactic that I always do when I split push is to try and push the wave to a certain point, and then I hide and I let someone on the enemy team come and farm it, usually the ADC, and I pop out and assassinate them in a matter of seconds. After you kill them and pick up the free gold, you can continue to split push the wave. So here the enemy Akali tries to kill me because I'm obviously extremely fed and I have a huge bounty on my head. She walks in the bush completely blindfolded, not really sure what she was doing, but she's completely unaware we have a pink ward in that bush. So we ended up picking up a kill on her. I back to base, buy all the items I want, and once again, like I always say, continue split pushing. Since I can 1v1 anyone on the enemy team, especially probably their most fed person at the moment, Yasuo, I just go ahead and do that. I look for the opportunity, go for the kill on the Yasuo, because I see the enemy team is all in the top lane, so I know if I kill the Yasuo, not only will I get the double buffs, but I'll able to get this tower for free. After I split push enough and hopefully my team gets some sort of objectives out of that, some global gold or kills or anything of the sort, and hopefully try to make their way back into the game, this is usually where the next phase of the Zed split pushing activates. And I will go over that in a little bit as it finally happens in the game. So here I do see that my team is engaging the enemy team very close to where my position is. So instead of split pushing, I decide to engage them in the fight as well. With myself being very fed and myself of course being an assassin who's extremely vulnerable to very bad positions, I try to sit in the back as long as I can and I look for the right opportunity. I wait till the enemy team is weakened to a certain point that I can go in and mop them up in a matter of seconds. Because if I go in too fast with Zed, they'll all focus me down, and if I die, the team fight is pretty much over. So when you're very fed, and especially when you're playing an assassin, you want to try and wait, be patient. Don't rush into the middle of the fight. Look for the right opportunity, throw in your shadow, throw in a WQ, let the team fight happen for a few seconds, maybe 3 to 5 seconds, let some ultimates be blown, and then go in with your W, and then start auto-attacking, use your ultimate on people, and just really clean up the fight. And after that, I got so much more gold, so what did I do? I ended up going back down to the bottom lane, and once again, split pushing the wave. So the next phase that I talked about with Zed that you can usually do when your team is finally back in the game is, as you're split pushing down in the bottom lane, you want to push in the wave, and then you want to tell your team, guys, I want you to either hover Baron or push in top, so that whenever they send 2 or 3 or 4 or even all 5 people down to the bottom lane to try and stop me from continuing my split push, do Baron. Because that puts the enemy team in quite a chokehold. They have to decide, do they stop my team from doing Baron and getting that objective, or do they walk bottom and stop me from getting the inhibitor? Whichever they choose, we'll just get the other one. So if they choose to stop me, we'll get Baron. If they choose to stop Baron, I'll just get the inhibitor. And a lot of the times, it can be a win-win situation, especially in solo queue, where people are so undecisive. Especially when the decision comes to a team play. But again, make sure that you are able to 1v1 anyone on the enemy team. And after having such a huge deficit, after having the jungler DC for literally 10 minutes and not having a jungler whatsoever, I simply focused on my own gameplay. I did not rage at the enemy team. I didn't take too many risks. I roamed as much as possible, and I tried to make sure that my team did not die anymore. And if they did die, then I was there to clean up the rest of the kills so that they did not die in vain. This example right here is one where I went in way too early, but thankfully I had my Guardian's Angel. As you can see, the enemy team is able to focus me down extremely quickly, so I ended up flashing up at the second I dropped down, and right now it doesn't look like the team fight is going so hot. But I threw in my W, I put on some damage, looked for the right opportunity. The second the Lucian walked too close to my shadow, I instantly swapped with my W to it, auto-attacked him a few times since I'm so fed, bursted him down in a matter of seconds, killed him, and we won the team fight and pushed in for the win. So I hope this video has been somewhat motivational and you guys can jump into solo queue and get some wins going. And I also hope that you guys have learned something from this video. If you enjoyed it or learned something new or both, please do throw in a like and share it with your friends. But with that being said, I want to wish all of you good luck in solo queue, and I hope to see you for the next video. Peace.